Hello, and thank you for joining us on this tutorial on how to take exports from DJI Terra and put them into MetaGeo. So here we have a project that we've already started. This is a project with 281 photos, and we've already done the processing. But if we are going to start over again and do the processing from the beginning, we'd start with the arrow triangulation, or the AT, and we'd go ahead and process the model. In this specific one, we used a DJI Phantom, and with this, we wanted to produce 2D maps and 3D model outputs. So the first thing we want to do is do the arrow triangulation, and if you have ground control points, input them there prior to doing the exports. And then we're also going to, when you select the 2D maps, we're going to check the coordinate system for the outputs. So generally this will be in WGS84 if you're not using ground control or RTK corrections, but if you are using the RTK corrections or GCPs, you go ahead and use whatever coordinate system that they were collected in. But it's important that we make sure that it is in a known coordinate system, because currently MetaGeo does not support arbitrary. So if you do upload a project or outputs with arbitrary coordinate systems, you will get an error in MetaGeo which says that there is no coordinate system associated with the data. So for the 3D outputs, we're going to do the same thing, make sure that we are in a known coordinate system. And when we go to the outputs for 3D models, we want to make sure that we have the B3DM file format selected. This is 3D tiles, and so this will be able to be the best way to ingest it into MetaGeo. And we want to make sure that if you want to have a point cloud, you can click the option above to add a point cloud export. So from here, we're going to go ahead and select our area for processing, do our processing, and once we get our outputs, we'll be able to also make sure that we have our 2D maps if we'd like. And to get to our outputs once we're done with the processing, we're to go ahead and click on the house icon in the top left of the home icon. And then that will take us to our project, and then we'll click on the folder icon down below. And once we're here, we can go to models, but we also have our AT, our images, our maps. So we'll go ahead and click on the models here, and then PC, and then 0, and then Terra B3DMs. So here's our tileset.json, which is our index file, which tells us where all the different 3D tiles are. And then in the block folder here, these are all the different 3D tiles. So now we're going to zip this all together using the 7-zip tool. So there's many tools you can use to do zips. So we use 7-zip. You can just right click and then go to add to zip. Make sure that it's a .zip and not a .7z or any other format. It has to be a .zip. So now we have our file packaged, and we're going to rename it so we know which project this is. So we'll just write Terra House Demo, and then we're going to go to MetaGeo and upload it. Okay, so now that we've logged in, we're going to go ahead and go to Layers, and we're going to create a new project so we can put all of these outputs into them. So go to the plus icon, and then go to Create Project. So we'll give this a name, and just like with the upload of the file, we're going to name it the same thing. And we'll go here to Data, we'll click on the Action button, which is the 3 dots, and then go to Upload. So now we can drag and drop, or we can click on this window to open it up. So we have it right here, so we'll just drag and drop it in. So we're going to let it upload, and while this is happening, you can go on and do other things, or you can just wait for it to complete. It will take a little while to unzip the folder on the platform, and then also put the tiles in the right place. So it takes just a little bit of processing. So once it's done, we can go back over to our layers, and then we'll be able to see the file. Okay, now it looks like it's all processed, so we're going to go ahead and double click on it, and we will zoom to the layer. And we see that we're now underground. Now, this happens because of the position reported by the drone, or the difference in the data set between the Earth terrain and the data set reported by the software that exported it. So this was a drone with no RTK and no GCPs, and so it's not uncommon for it to pop up in the wrong place as far as the altitude is concerned. So we're going to go ahead and click on the icon and then the transparency, and now we can see the data set. And it's under the ground here like we thought. So we're going to adjust the altitude mode. It's on absolute right now. We'll switch to clamp to ground. And sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't because it takes it from the center of the data set, and we can see that it's kind of like halfway onto the surface there. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just double check it and turn off the transparency. And it looks like it is, yeah, it's still underneath. So we're going to go ahead and switch this to a custom altitude. And so with a custom altitude, we can take the data set and use a slider and drag it up. So we'll just go over here to the altitude mode, switch to custom, and then we'll drag over the slider and adjust it to the right height. So up above where it says height, you'll see the numbers changing. That is meters above the original position. And you can actually type in a different number if you need to go even higher than the slider will let you. So there is some difference between the terrain dataset and the dataset that we collected. So that is also sometimes normal. So we'll have to go and just double check and make sure that we have the right position. So I can kind of look around and we'll just make sure that we're happy with what we see. And once we're happy, we can go ahead and save it on the top right up there. But we're just going to take a look around. And it looks pretty good. So yeah, this is how you take the outputs from Terra, the 3D models, and this is the same process for any mosaics or orthophotos. And yeah, thank you for following along this tutorial. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at support.metageo.io.